How's it going, y'all? Today we are going to talk about Tilta's new follow focus, the Nucleus Nano Mark II. They sent me this unit a couple months ago and I've been playing with it a little bit in different projects that I've been doing. In the box you get a really nice carrying case. The hand unit and the motor fit nicely inside there. You also get a rod and a rod clamp so that you can attach this to your camera cage. And then they give you a adjustable gear to put that onto your photo lenses. It's a simple kit of equipment that comes with it, but it works well, does the job, and it gives you a nice little package to be able to carry on set. Now, first of all, the thing you'll notice about this unit is it has a really nice screen on it. It is a touch screen, so you can swipe between the different menus, which I love. The feedback on it is great. You have hard stops at the end, or you can turn it so that it's free rotating. Has a NATO clamp on the back, which I love. The old version was a proprietary mount, which just made it complicated to attach to your rig. Working with the hand unit itself is just a great experience. Overall, the touchscreen is very responsive. In some situations around the edges of the screen, it's a little bit less sensitive, it seems like, so sometimes it doesn't pick up what you're doing, but for most of the work, it is accurate and picks up what you want to do. You can scroll through the menus and jump into your motor settings, where you're able to adjust your calibration of your motor. You can adjust the torque, you can change the direction that the focus throw is going to work, as well as the sensitivities. One other thing that I like a lot about this unit is it has the rocker on the side. This allows you to control zoom if you have a secondary motor. You can also connect this whole thing to a hand unit that will be coming out soon, and that gives you the ability to control 2 additional motors. Once you have the motor calibrated to your lens, you'll find you get a nice throw on there to go from one end of the focal range to the other. But you can also put hard stops in at different points in that focus range. So say you only want to be able to focus from 2 feet to 50 feet. You can set those by holding down the A/B button on the screen at one point, moving it to the second point and pushing that again. And then it limits the whole focal throw to that distance. In addition to that, you can also set haptic feedback, so you can set multiple marks that as you pass over those, you'll get a vibration in the hand unit, which is a really helpful thing. Specifically when you're doing high-speed stuff on the cable cam, you want to be able to be sure that you're hitting those marks and that you're not having to think any more than is necessary, because everything is happening quite quickly. So it's just that extra layer of feedback to let you know that you're nailing your focus. Powering the motor on your rig is a big improvement over the Nano 1. The original Nano was powered by micro USB, which is just an unreliable connection in general. I really have always disliked that cable. This one is charged via USB-C, and so you can easily go into like your gimbal, for example. The RS2 or the RS3 can power this directly, or you can attach it to a USB-C-A adapter and plug it into a V-mount battery. That's how I have it set up here. One of the things that they were talking about when this first came out is how it had the ability to control your camera. And so you can swipe over to the side menu and you'll see all your different camera settings. Currently, this does not work with the Canon C70. It works with Blackmagic cameras, some Sony cameras, and then some of the other mirrorless Canon cameras. You'll be able to adjust all your settings like f-stop, ISO, color temperature, all that sort of stuff, which is really neat. Does not work at the C70 at this point in time. They do have firmware updates coming out that might make that work. The function that I wanted the most out of this from controlling my camera was start-stop, and you've got a button here on the side of the body that allows you to do that. Now again, this does not work with the C70 with the included cable, but it is something that you can get functioning if you get the USB-C run-stop cable that Tilta offers. I've got that hooked up on this rig here and I'm able to start and stop recording. This really helps me in those cable cam shoot days where my camera is way up in a tree and I can't really access it very easily. I'm not having to run really long takes in between each shot, so I can just start and stop remotely and it works fantastic. When I'm shooting with the C70, I'm often using RF photo glass just because it's what I have in my kit. And the focus ring on these is not geared, it's focused by wire. And so This doesn't work great with follow focuses is kind of what I'm learning. I've put focus gears onto these lenses, calibrated everything properly through the unit, and what I found is over time, the calibration drifts and it's just not very accurate. You can still use the RF glass with this unit. I just find the focus throw is so short that it's very sensitive to be able to actually control that motion. I have it set up on my Sigma 18-35, then it gives me a much more accurate representation of how this unit performs when it's used in the context that it was intended to. In addition to the RF photo glass not being really suited to a follow focus, the RF mount itself has some problems. Because it wasn't really intended for heavy-duty use like this, the mount has a bit of play in it with the camera body, and so you will find that the lens actually shifts around a bit when the torque is put on the motor to turn the focus ring. To solve that, I found the easiest solution is to get a lens bracket. This provides some support on the bottom of the lens so it isn't able to pull down. There are some RF locking mounts that you can get that will also improve that situation if you're shooting with EF glass, for example. But it is an issue with the RF mount itself, nothing to do with this follow focus specifically, but just something worth noting that you might find that there's a bit of play that you need to figure out a way to tidy up in your rig. Now the range on this unit has performed great for me. The longest distance I've tried to pull focus is on a 300-foot cable cam line, and it was able to reach that entire time. Now if you have line of sight issues, you might find that that range decreases, but for the majority of purposes that I'm going to be using this, I don't think I'm going to run into any issues with range. So all in all, I think Tilta did an incredible job of updating the Nano system. They've made the touchscreen really easy to work with. They've increased the power of the motor, and overall the whole system is just really plug and play. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them down in the comments below. I know there are not a lot of videos about this unit yet. I'm sure more will be coming, but I can do my best to answer any questions you might have. Thank you again, Tilta, for sending this over for me to check out, and thank you all for watching this video. Till the next time, get out there, make something beautiful, and I'll see y'all soon.